Hello! Today I'm going to show you how I made this shirt. I made it for a friend for Wasteland Weekend. For this you will need rubber gloves, the shirt you're going to be working on, scissors, a blade, some leather string, paints, dye, more paint, baby oil, baby powder, and that's it. You need hot water, but it doesn't need to be boiling. So take your hot water, pour it in the sink, shake it with dye, pour it in, get every little bit, fill it up with some water, dump that in, and make sure you put your gloves on. Dunk your fabric in, use a spoon or something like it so you don't burn your hands on the very hot water. And if you've got anything else to dye, why don't you just throw that in too. I like to save dye if I can. When you've got everything in there, you want to leave it in for half an hour to an hour, stir it occasionally, and wipe up your mess so you don't stain the countertops. When you've rinsed and dried your fabric, you are ready to start. Wear a dust mask if yours doesn't break like mine did, and lay your garment out flat. I started with the brown spray paint I've used in previous videos and coated it with baby powder. I like this technique. It's cleaner than dirt and looks similar. So I've been requested to slow this part down and explain it. I like to spread paint onto my hands and then, as if I'm wiping my hands off onto the shirt, transfer the paint from my gloves to the garment. And then when you do the baby powder, you apply it and then scrub it into the garment using the garment, like so. After you've mastered these two things, it's just layering. You do paint and then powder and then paint and then powder until it looks exactly the way you want it to. You can take a large amount of paint and grab the garment from several different places like this to get a much larger amount of paint transferred at once. And as the paint starts to dry on your gloves, really scrub it in. And as usual, baby powder, paint, layer, layer, layer. This is something new I tried. I mixed paint into water and used it as a mixing medium of some sort. It helped the other paints blend into each other, but it did make the shirt all wet, so the baby powder didn't work as well after this, but I did like it. If you try it, let me know what you think down below. I moved I moved a shirt over to the dress form so that I could see it better and show you better. I just continued adding the paint and the powder different colors to get a different effect, focusing mostly on the ends of the garment, the bottom of the shirt and the bottom of the sleeves. I tried this thing I read once where you put baby oil and it looks like permanent sweat. It didn't work. If you get it to work, let me know. I think it works better on lighter material, but I tried. Continue adding baby powder and paint until you are satisfied. Now this part, I am removing the bottom hem of this shirt. I don't want to take any of the length off, I just want to remove the hem so it doesn't look quite so finished. If you want to take length off, go ahead, but that's not what I was doing. I just want to take off that finished edge so that it doesn't look like a brand new shirt that somebody spilled paint on. Next I added a few holes. Holes are a great addition to any post-apocalyptic outfit, but with holes sometimes less is more. You can't uncut a hole, but you can always add more. So what I like to do, and what I did with this shirt, was keep my holes in little groups, make a tiny snip, and then stretch the hole out a little bit, and it looks more natural. It doesn't look like you just cut your shirt. but like I said, less is often more, especially with things like holes. Always stretch them out, and you can add more distressing to these little snips, but you have to at least stretch them out, otherwise it looks like you did it yourself. For the sleeves, I used a similar approach to the bottom hem. I just wanted to take off that super finished edge. I will do more to the sleeves later, but for now I just wanted to remove the hem so that it looked more worn. Sleeves get worn out on your everyday clothes fairly quickly, so you definitely want to make sure to pay attention to those. I added a few more holes, making sure to keep them small and stretch them out, make them look worn in, and I'll just keep adding holes until I feel content. Here I wanted to add a little cluster of holes at the elbow. That's what I hope is the elbow, by making tiny, tiny snips and then pulling them apart so that they look well worn and not like scissor cuts. What do you think? Next I moved on to the collar. Collars are another place on shirts that naturally tear first, but you don't want to overdo it, because if you've got too many holes in your shirt, it would beg the question, why haven't you found a new shirt? Even in the apocalypse, I think that once you found a shirt that fit, you would replace the ratty one you're currently wearing, so I don't think there'd be too many Swiss cheese shirts, even in the apocalypse. So make your holes, but remember, holes are cool. Swiss cheese is not as cool. Continue making holes and cutting hems until you think you've got it, and then you can move on to a smaller detail, one of my favorite things to work on: frayed edges. So for this, I used very sharp scissors and gently broke the threads. You should wear gloves. I forgot that I didn't wear gloves until I was editing this, and I'm really lucky I didn't slice my fingers open, but you can break the threads. You can pull them with your fingertips, or you can use tweezers, and this does look really good, but it is time consuming. There is another way. It's quicker, and it looks super, super nice. Using a box cutter, don't use your knife unless you like ruining your blades. Make gentle cuts. You can either pull the threads like that, or you can make gentle little cuts like this. And as you can see, it's already making a lovely fray. You can then fine tune that with your fingertips, or you can just not. You can just keep using the box cutter to make these nice frayed edges. Frayed edges along with holes look really good, but you can go overboard. So you should add fraying edges, but in my opinion it is not necessary to make the entire bottom edge of this garment frayed. Now if you have a garment you specifically want to be frayed, go crazy. I sped this part up. Please be careful, be safe, don't slice your fingers open. I'm not responsible for that. Now, using everything I've just shown you, I'm going to finish distressing this shirt. little bonus, let me show you how to patch up a hole. First, make a hole, and then make it look like you didn't make it by distressing it a lot. Here is the hole you accidentally on purposely made, and we're going to use this leather string to patch it back up. So carefully poke holes on either side of this hole you accidentally on purpose made, and you can use these holes to tie up the hole in the shirt. You can either put it through like this and just tie a knot and trim the excess, or you can lace this up like a shoe. I had a lot of issues doing this. I don't know why, but I'm sure you'll do a much better job. Carefully making holes and not stabbing yourself. Lace the holes up, knot them at the end, and trim off any excess. Make sure you paint this, or it's a telltale giveaway that you did it yourself, and you're done. Always fold up your knife because you're a responsible adult and you're done. So here it is. Note the contrast of the shirt colors compared to every other color in my room. What do you think? Would you wear this? I'd wear this. So that's it. Here, this is the finished product. It came out pretty well. Came out really well, actually. It looks a lot better in person. I'm not sure the camera's really picking it up. This shirt isn't for me. It's much too big, but I think that the person it's for will like it very much. So there you go. Keep following this channel for more DIY tricks and tips, especially for your post-apocalyptic costume needs. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and if you're going to Wasteland Weekend, I'll see you soon. Bye.